Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Mustin. As we head into 2022, the Splash Live is your home for live and exclusive Greater West Bloomfield's news and interviews. We're here to bring you the featured stories and local events and businesses to showcase our great community. The Splash Live is now daily from 9:30 to 10 a.m. on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99. We're also live on CivicCenterTV.com under the live section of your web browser and mobile device Monday through Friday. Join us as we take a look at what's happening around our Greater West Bloomfield community. We're going to start off with our Person of the Week QR code. Every week we highlight someone from our Greater West Bloomfield community that is making an impact. We'll be taking submissions for Person of the Week through the QR code on the screen. To submit an entry, you can scan the QR code on the screen and fill out the Google form with the person's name, reason that they should be recognized, and the Person of the Week contact information for them so that we can contact them there. These nominations can be educators, students, local businesses, or any other organization that you think deserves to be recognized as our Person of the Week. We're now going to dive into our great community events that the Greater West Bloomfield community has to offer. 2022 is here, and the Greater West Bloomfield community has some fun events that are happening now. The first one is the West Bloomfield Township Public Library has started their virtual programming that includes a variety of interactive events for all ages. Some of those events are starting next week. On January 10th, they have some of their virtual events. So those are the film discussion. They are discussing the film Selma, and they are also have a book discussion on Thursday and Friday. They are discussing the book Bagman by Rachel Maddow, and you can register for all of those virtual events online at their website at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. These are very fun events for all ages. They also have some of those take-home arts and crafts events that the registration for those start next Monday on January 10th. So if you are looking for something fun to do, want to have your New Year's resolution be to read more or watch more fun films, the West Bloomfield Township Public Library has those events for you. So you can go to their website under their calendar events and register for those there. They will have those ongoing throughout the year. Just some of those events that we highlighted are happening next week and throughout the month of January. Our next event is the Sylvan Salon events. They are hosting another salon in January. These salons work to educate the community and create dialogue about social issues that are happening in the Sylvan Lake community. Their fourth salon will be held on January 18th at Board and Brush Studio. They have a 6:15 social with a 7 p.m. presentation. Their presentation for this fourth salon will be from attorney Gabby Silver, who works at the University of Michigan's Innocence Clinic. She will be speaking at the salon about her work in the innocence community and the wrongfully convicted. She will also be exploring some of the stories of the accused and how they are charged and convicted. Capacity is limited to 30, so if you want to reserve your seat, it'll be $5, and you can contact Kelly Kraus. Her phone number is 248-797-6730. All the proceeds will be added to the Sylvan Summer 2022 Concert Fund, so a great way to get together with your Sylvan Lake residents if you're looking for a fun way to get involved with the community and learn about some of those social issues that are happening around here. The next event and our last event that is ongoing is the Sylvan Lake Game Night. This event is perfect if you're looking for something fun to do this winter. Whether you go alone or with friends, the Sylvan Lake Game Nights are a great way to socialize safely with your neighbors and friends. The Sylvan Lake Game Nights take place every Wednesday when there is not a Sylvan Lake board meeting in the community center. Game night starts at 5:30 p.m. and will go to about 9 p.m. at the community center. This event is open to all Sylvan Lake residents, and you're welcome to bring family and friends to get together and play games at the Sylvan Lake Community Center. They had their first one this year yesterday at January 5th. It was a fun way. You can bring games if you would like to play. There will also be games provided as well, as this is a great way to get together with your neighbors and community members this winter. If you have an event you'd like us to feature, you can send us a message on our social media pages at Civic Center TV 15 and Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. We're now going to take a look at one of our stories here. It is the Testing the Water story that we sent our reporters out to check in on what is going on with our New Year's resolutions. We talked to some of our crew members here at Civic Center TV, as well as those staff members at Town Hall just next door here at our studios in West Bloomfield. So let's go take a look at what their New Year's resolutions are.
Well, well, well. Funny I'd find you around here at Green Media Center. Calvin Brown reporting for The Splash. I asked people around my work and around West Bloomfield what their New Year's resolution was. And hey, why don't I tell you mine right now? Smile more. Adorable. Isn't that just cute? Makes you want to grin ear to ear. But what about West Bloomfield?
My resolution is for our township staff to remain healthy and to continue serving the public in their exemplary manner.
My New Year's resolution is to be a little bit more punctual. I feel like I drag my feet a little bit when it comes to getting places, so yeah, I think I'm going to be a little bit more punctual this year.
I'm not a big resolutions guy, but I do believe in every year trying to kind of refocus myself and just kind of remain positive and be a good influence to my friends and family. So just trying to reset some things and have some personal goals. One of them is fitness-wise. You know, with the pandemic, things had to change that way, so I'm in the process of trying to figure out new ways to stay active and stay healthy.
My New Year's resolution is to take more dedicated time to just relax and find calm. I tend to have my mind not stop, and I just want to take a little bit more time to stay in the present moment and calm down a little bit.
My 2022 New Year's resolution is to try to be more grateful and wake up each day grateful for what I have and for my health, and to be kind to the people that I meet.
So I think I have two. I can't decide which one I want to go with, so I'm going to tell you both. I'm definitely going to read more because I have binged way too much television over these past 2 years. And then second is to learn how to roll with the punches, as they say, a little bit more.
My New Year's resolution is to do more things that make me genuinely happy.
My New Year's resolution would be to make time to pray more, to spend time with family, and to just focus on being healthy and work out.
Our New Year's resolution is to try more new things and be more adventurous and get out of our comfort zone. So we are going to try this 100-year-old egg that our boss brought in. It's actually not bad. Mm-hmm. Just tastes like an egg, in case you're curious.
Always with the great answers, West Bloomfield. Thank you so much. I love asking you guys crazy, wacky, and fun questions. But I'll have to save it for next time on Testing the Waters. Woo!
Those are great New Year's resolutions from our crew here at Civic Center TV, as well as those staff members over at Town Hall. So thank you to everyone who participated. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we will be joined by West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation staff member Ben Burr to talk about some of their senior programming that they have, as well as those free transportation that they have for the seniors here in West Bloomfield. So we're going to take a short break, but when we return, we'll talk with Ben Burr.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live. I'm your host, Manny Muschin. We are excited today to be joined by Ben Burr of West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation, who works chaperoning different adventures and trips for our senior citizens here in West Bloomfield, as well as taking care of the West Bloomfield Parks vehicles, making sure that the phone calls and booking transportation appointments go smoothly. So thank you so much for joining us this morning, Ben.
You're welcome.
Ben, you have been working with West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation since 2015 through the recreation side of the staff. Can you tell us a little bit about what led you into this job and your role with West Bloomfield Parks now?
I worked in either construction or medical largely for my adult life. I worked as a transportation specialist at St. Joe's. I worked with chimney restoration and repair. I've worked with maintenance on vehicles. I've worked with a handful of other things. The senior driver at the time was a friend of mine, and when an opening came up, he said, you should probably come check this out. It's pretty cool. And he's right. It's tremendous people to work with. It's a lot of fun. It's a rewarding work environment, and love being here.
And then part of your role at West Bloomfield Parks and Rec is to ensure that the seniors in the community can be independent through the transportation system that West Bloomfield provides. Can you tell us a little bit about the transportation system and maybe some of the deals and free services that you guys have to offer?
Well, the bus service, unfortunately, is not free, but it's real cheap. It's $2 each way. We utilize our trucks for medical, non-medical transports, as well as anything that you can register for as far as your programming goes. We love to provide the independence and the ability for people to go out and enjoy life. Just because you give up your keys doesn't mean that you have to give up your social life or anything else you're doing. We will use the trucks you can book a medical up to 4 weeks in advance, and I can go anywhere in the township or leave the township by up to 6 miles. You can book non-medicals, your haircuts, your grocery shopping up to 2 weeks in advance, and I can leave the township by up to 1 mile for those. Otherwise, we use them primarily for our parks and recreation programs and trips. This Friday, we're taking the trucks down to the Detroit Symphony Orchestra to see the music of Billy Joel. We got 1 ticket left for that, I think. We're doing Cirque du Soleil next month. There's about 13 left for that. We have Restaurant Rambler programs going on. This month we're going to Maggiano's Little Italy in Troy. And the 26th, I believe, has some openings. If anybody would like to do that, come join us for a day out. There are a whole host of wonderful, exciting programs at Connect, our senior center. And for individuals that can't get out of their home on their own, they can sign up for a class, and as soon as they sign up for it, they can call and schedule, and we'll get them squared away and get them to class.
And Ben, if someone was interested in registering for either the transportation and booking one of those non-medical or medical transportation services, how would they go about signing up for those?
Our services are available to residents of West Bloomfield Township, age 55 and up, or disabled with documentation, age 16 and up. And it's easiest to call 248-706-2411. That's my desk, that's my voicemail, I do the scheduling. I also drive one of the trucks, as you can see from my background. So when I'm in the building, I call everybody back as soon as I can, most times same day.
And then Ben, you touched on a couple of those fun senior trips and events that you guys have going on in 2022. If someone was looking to book either the events for this upcoming weekend, or if they were interested in that Cirque du Soleil event that you guys have going on, would that be the same phone number to book that, or would they have to go through another route on the West Bloomfield Parks website there?
To book for the individual programs themselves, you go through the West Bloomfield Parks website, or you call 248-451-1900, or I'm sorry, 1900, my apologies. My section is transportation, because not everybody that signs up for a program needs a ride to that program. But if you do, please call me and let me know. I'll get you to it and get you squared away.
And Ben, before we wrap up the interview here, is there anything else that you wanted to highlight or touch on either with the transportation services or with those fun events and adventures for the senior citizens here in West Bloomfield.
At this time, COVID kind of put a damper on a lot of things. So we only have the Detroit Symphony Orchestra up and going, and we only have the Restaurant Ramblers up and going as far as the trips. But hopefully one day life will return to normal, and you'll see that there'll be more trips in the section. We used to do about once a month excursions we've done to Detroit Princess, we've done the DIA, we've done multiple different things, and keep an eye out for those things as we are able to do them again. In the meantime, there is a whole host of wonderful, wonderful programs at Connect, where the group over there has been truly indispensable in their ingenuity to deal with the constraints of late. But we'll take care of everybody as best we can.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Ben.
You're welcome. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Once again, I was joined by Ben Burr from West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation, telling us about those programs as well as their transportation system that they have here in West Bloomfield. We're now going to take a look at a celebration of winter and the winter solstice that West Bloomfield Parks put on in December. The winter solstice event at the Recreation Activity Center was a celebration of not only the winter solstice, but also wrapping up 2021 that the West Bloomfield residents enjoyed last December on the 21st. Splash reporter Brendan Schreiber went to that event at the winter solstice West Bloomfield Parks event, and he has a story now.
What's going on, West Bloomfield? Winter has just begun, and WB Parks is here to celebrate the winter solstice. Welcome to the Winter Solstice Celebration, an outdoor event brought to you by WB Parks to celebrate the darkest night of the year. We spoke with Lauren Azuri, Park Natural Supervisor, and asked her about the event.
So the winter solstice is a really special event that honors the celestial cycle, the hours of light in the winter versus the upcoming, what we're looking forward to, springtime. And it's a special time to celebrate nature and to calm down. So it's really great to have families and community members here out on our trails in the dark with the lantern lit trail. It kind of sets a nice tone for a relaxing event out in nature.
During our interview, Lauren also expressed the importance of the event to the community.
Well, I do think enjoying time outdoors is great for your health. There's lots of studies that show that. So providing these opportunities for families to be able to come out and do something that maybe they wouldn't feel comfortable doing on their own, like going on a night hike or having a fire, things like that. So we're able to provide maybe a new experience that people in the community have never been able to do before.
What can't be overlooked is WB Parks' devotion to creating events such as the Winter Solstice celebration. Lauren told us what she enjoys most about the organization.
Well, WB Parks is a great team to be a part of. It takes a lot of our staff and volunteers from the community to put on events like this, and so it's great to see everyone pitch in and be excited to have this opportunity for our community. It's really great to see their enthusiasm. All of our staff love greeting people and seeing that they're enjoying all the hard work that we put into the event.
Lauren further went on to explain how the event is able to operate post-pandemic.
We've worked really hard to make different adaptations as, since 2020 has happened. We had our winter solstice celebration last year. It was more individual families, households just separately. So we weren't able to gather around the fire like we are this year. So it's great to see different adaptations and different ways to run the event during these times.
Thank you, WB Parks, for allowing us to celebrate this special time. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Brendan Schreiber.
We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we're going to talk to Gina Gregory from the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. She's going to tell us a little bit about their open house event. This Sunday, they have a special theme of curling. It is going to be this Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. So Gina will join us right after this short break.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Teens a day die from texting and driving. Don't text and drive.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live. I'm your host, Banny Muschin. Today I am joined by Gina Gregory of the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society to talk about the upcoming open house on Sunday, January 9th from 1 to 4 p.m. The open house will talk a little bit about the history of curling and its rich history here in the West Bloomfield area. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Gina.
Good morning, everyone.
So Gina,
Hello.
Let's start off with the open house event that you guys have this upcoming Sunday. You guys have had a lot of open houses with the newly renovated museum that you have in Orchard Lake, but this one is special. It is has a special theme of curling. So can you tell us a little bit about this specific open house and what the inspiration behind having the curling special on it was?
Sure. Well, I'll start out by saying each month, for the second Sunday, we have a themed open house. And the other weekends that we're open, we have our other items to share. But the second Sunday, we always have a themed open house. So this, we like to keep them kind of seasonal and topical, as well as sharing history. And this month we do both with curling. We always do it every other year. And then the opposite year, we highlight traditional ice harvesting. So we're happy to be back this year with curling. It makes great sense for us since curling first premiered in the United States on Orchard Lake in the winter of 1831 and 32, we believe. Yesterday I learned that Milwaukee thinks that maybe they're a contender for first having curling in the United States, but we haven't heard, I don't know more about that. And the Detroit Curling Club agrees that it first happened here in the United States on Orchard Lake.
And Gina, I was going to say, can you just tell us a little bit about what one can expect with the open house and a little bit about maybe that history with the curling here in West Bloomfield?
Yeah, so they played right out on the lake there. One of the things they did was have oyster stew afterwards, oyster soup. And so we have the soup tureen and ladle with a lid and a plate that was used. So we bring that out. We also have photographs of curling in this area. One of West Bloomfield's residents, George Lawton, lived out here, I'd say, by the 30s. And so he was involved with curling. And then interestingly, in 1832, he was on an Olympic team of curlers that was a demonstration sport that year. And he led the team to the Olympics. So we have some of his memorabilia from that, as well as newspaper articles. We also have a curling stone that folks can try and lift up. And we also have a curling broom that's a little different than what you usually see. So those are the items that we have. And then this year, George's grandson will be joining us with pins that George Lawton received over the years as a curler that are mounted. So it'll be fun to see those as well. They're very intricate.
And Gina, with those items that you have and the deep history that curling has here in West Bloomfield, how did you guys find out about that, and how did the kind of history come about here that you discovered for the West Bloomfield Historical Society?
So I mentioned George Lawton. Well, his daughters, Louis Lawton and Bessie Weatherston, were members of our organization, and they were board members. Older folks to West Bloomfield would remember their names, I expect, because they were very involved in the community. They might know them from their works with West Bloomfield Parks. They helped secure parks for the township. And then they also were active with Preservation Wayne in downtown Detroit. They were also just very into wetlands and parks and preservation. So since their father was in the Olympics, they knew about that, and how they learned more about the history that goes farther back would be from the people who donated the soup tureen and shared their local history. And then there's also newspaper articles that get written and accumulated. So we gather history like everybody else does by just looking at what we have and collecting and being open to learning more. So our collections are increasing all the time. People constantly give us more to learn, and that's great fun that you can increase what you know. A Dow descendant has contacted us, and he was a curler, and so I know a little bit more about curling from him.
And Gina, if somebody would want to stop by the open house this Sunday from 1 to 4, would they have to alert anyone that they were coming, register for that, or are they able to just walk in there?
They're able to walk in. Our building limit's 25 people, so during COVID we're saying 12. That's worked out really well for us so far. So that's what we would go by. We'd also encourage people to wear masks, which we have available. And we're open. Both doors are open. We have an accessible door as well as a door that's closer to the parking lot. So we're looking forward to having people come in and see us. When we reopened, the space has been totally refurbished, and all of our exhibits are brand new and are increased in their scope and dimension and presentation. So we've made a lot of improvements, and I think everybody would enjoy the experience because we have a lot of history to share, and we now have it available for people to see in a more robust way. We also have a lot of hands-on activities. Almost everything can be touched that's out in the museum. It's pretty obvious what you can touch and try. We have a curling, a sharpening wheel that people can sit on the apparatus and make it work. We have Indian moccasins. We have a boot from from the Civil War. Just a variety of things. We have uniforms from the military academy, and then we have a regalia outfit from a local native person who just donated that this summer, as well as artifacts on loan from Cranbrook Institute of Science and Oakland County Pioneer and Historical Society. We have a lot of things to see. I'm not going to say them all because I'd like people to come in and see them. They're surprising and wonderful.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Gina.
All right, thank you.
Once again, I was joined by Gina Gregory from the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for joining me this morning as we explored all the people and events going on in the Greater West Bloomfield community. Make sure to watch any interviews and stories you missed by visiting civiccentertv.com. As always, we'll be here Monday through Friday on AT&T Channel 99 and Comcast Channel 15. For all of our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, and Kego Harbor in West Bloomfield, I'm Maddie Mushton. Thank you for watching The Splash Live.